Folks, the day has finally arrived where you get to hear us talk to none other than Ann Dowd in person, live in Provincetown. It was one night only. Damien, I'm still like on a high from this some few weeks later. You know, like it really is wild that it happened. And I'm so glad that we have physical proof.
Yes, it was a real wild ride, very memorable, you know, all of the things. Just the fact that it all came together, that we got Ann Dowd onto Provincetown, in Provincetown. She was just so lovely, so sweet, so humble. Yeah, and it was also like a torrential downpour the night of the show at the Art House in Provincetown. We love the Art House. We're so grateful to the Art House and Misconception and Sutton Seymour, who helped make all of this possible, and as well as our friend Rich the Bear. So thank you to the Art House for having You Might Know Her From. Thank you to Ann Dowd for doing the show. Yeah, I'm still sort of processing it all and can't believe that we got Emmy winner Ann Dowd. Ann Dowd, who you have been asking for in the comments and in the DMs and in the reviews that you hopefully are leaving us.
I just think that having her in that gay space and getting to honor her in a room full of, you know, I'm sure there were some straight people there, but it was a pretty queer crowd. And I just feel really lucky that we got to kind of talk queer culture with Ann Dowd in Provincetown. It still feels like a blur. So thank you to all of you for helping make this happen. I feel like it's been such a thrill to sort of level up this year. And I feel like this is one of many culminations of us like coming full circle and getting the Ann Dowd. So without further ado, let's get right into it. You are going to hear the nitty gritty as if you were in the room with us in that rainy night in Provincetown at 9:00 sharp. Folks, enjoy this evening with none other than Damien and Ann Dowd. I think it's time.
It's time for the Dowd and potatoes. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ann Dowd.
Damien's the escort for this evening, and I'm just holding the space. Ann Dowd, everybody.
Thank you so much, you lovely, amazing people. Thank you. I can see you. My husband.
You do rock.
Thank you so
Ann
much.
does rock. We got to hang out with Ann backstage, and we were all talking about dry mouth, and we're all having it. So we shared tips on how to avoid dry mouth and what to do with it. We're talking about Dramamine. We also talk about body talk a lot. So I feel like Ann is already on our page.
So we start each. That was great. Sorry, I didn't mean to say.
He was ready to segue. I always call him. He's like Whoopi Goldberg on The View, where it's like we're just gonna keep it pushing. No segue necessary. Go ahead.
She makes the joke all the time, and I always say I'd rather be Meredith Vieira, who was good at the segue, opposed to Whoopi Goldberg, who would just be like, anyway, about that. So now let's talk about. We love Whoopi. No disrespect. So we start every episode of You Might Know Her From prior to the interview with a list of the actors' credits. So we're going to do this, Ann, with you watching us.
Okay, I can't wait.
Okay. It is weird to do it in front of them. Okay. You might know her from The Handmaid's Tale.
The Testaments.
Oh.
Hereditary.
Compliance.
Philadelphia.
Lorenzo's Oil.
Masters of Sex.
Marley and Me.
Garden State.
Freaks and Geeks.
Mass.
Olive Kitteridge.
And The Leftovers.
Oh, loved it. Thank you.
Ann, have you ever struggled to keep your SAG-AFTRA insurance? You work a lot.
Well, no, I haven't faced that yet. Thank you for bringing it up.
I'm so sorry.
You're booked and busy, babe. You're booked and busy. Okay, so we are here obviously with Emmy winner Ann Dowd. This is a coup for us. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Now, Ann.
Thank you. Yes, dear.
Yes, we obviously, I locked in. You saw it.
No.
Okay, so we know you from your iconic roles on stage and screen. To date, Ann Dowd has 119 IMDb credits. You're a many-time Emmy nominee and 2017 winner for your work on The Handmaid's Tale, and you're one of the most in-demand actors in this ever-evolving industry. We're going to get to all of that, but first we got to discuss something extremely important. You see, Damien and I were talking about this, and I'm not the kind of lesbian or gay person that uses the term like mother, but I have to say that Ann Dowd is mother, right? So,
I don't know what that means.
right. So it's Damien, you go. Just give a quick.
It's just like iconic, like you're slay the hoot boots down with your Emmy, you know, like, okay, look at that cattle prod, look at you go. You get it, right?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
It's high praise. It's high praise.
It's high praise.
Okay, but you in fact have played mother to many powerhouses in the industry. Here's a laundry list for the listeners. Okay, Busy Phillips' mom in Freaks and Geeks, Channing Tatum's mom in Side Effects, Gretchen Mall's in the notorious Betty Page, Brad Renfro's in Apt Pupil, Natalie Portman's in Garden State, and Michael Sheen's in Master of Sex. Someone who is 7 years younger than you. What the fuck is wrong?
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. Loved every minute.
So you've been a mother many times on stage and screen, but we here at You Might Know Her From have to get into the nitty gritty, and that is when you played the best de facto sitcom mom of all time, and that's Mrs. Garrett in ABC's live from a studio audience staging of The Facts of Life in Diff'rent Strokes, where we really got to see a different side of what Ann Dowd is capable of. Can you talk to us about finding Mrs. Garrett, and who approached you about seeing, like, do you have Charlotte Rae in your back pocket?
No, I don't. Not that I'm aware of. I was terrified at being asked. I thought, what am I going to do with that? She was so perfect.
Yeah.
You know. And also some of the actors whose names, of course, I won't remember, from the show are going to be there that night. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? So I just did the thing that finally made sense to me, which was I listened over and over and over again to the show and to her voice. Do you know what I mean? So just listening, and finally I said, okay, you're going to have to let it come out, speak it. So I did it that way. I just listened a lot, and then I said my prayers, and I just went out and did the best I could, you know?
It was incredible. I mean, it really
thank
was.
you.
I feel like it was the highlight of that thing. So if you don't know, it was like they did a Norman Lear tribute, and they restaged with...
live in front of a studio audience.
Yes.
It was with very famous actors replaying those roles. So
We have a clip here. Chris,
Jimmy Kimmel, too.
Jimmy Kimmel,
He's
yes,
the
that's
one
right.
who asked me.
He's
Jimmy
the one.
Kimmel.
He knew. He saw it in you.
We have a clip that I feel like it's important if you haven't seen this that everyone in the audience sees. So Chris, if you can cue that little video up, please.
Got a full meal in there? A salad, a main course, and a dessert?
You got a full meal in there? A salad, a main course, and a dessert?
Joe, what boy's gonna spend the evening with you if he has to bid on a dinner like that?
Joe, what boy's going to spend the evening with you if he has to bid on a dinner like that?
It's insane.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
It's one of my favorite
you.
things you've ever done. And I mean that as high praise. Like
I appreciate it.
It's so cool that you can do that and do everything else you've done.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, honestly.
Can you, like, what would it take for you to do a sitcom now?
Well, I was told by Jennifer Aniston it's the best way to have a career is to do a half an hour comedy.
Yeah.
You get out at 3 p.m. Instead of 3 a.m, may I say.
Right.
But I would love to try one. I think it would be a blast.
Yeah, I think you would be so good in the format. Also, because you're great on stage, and I think stage actors
Oh,
are so
thank
good
you.
in the sitcom format.
Yeah, I've never been asked. No one was ever interested, but maybe I'll just look around a little. Or
We're
something.
putting it in the ether.
Oh, thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Appreciate that.
We
you
have
know.
pull.
Yes, I know. I feel it.
Okay, so one of the great joys of this project is uncovering credits that maybe we weren't familiar with prior to interviewing the actor. And with you, that film was 2012's indie thriller Compliance, directed by Craig Zobel. Oh. Yes, it's so good. So you play Sandra, the manager of a fast food restaurant who receives a phone call from the police, quote unquote, accusing an employee of theft. And I don't want to spoil anything or too much, but you're instructed over the phone to interrogate an employee. And it gets worse from there. The film is absolutely like very anxiety-inducing. It's outrageous, and it's inspired by true events, which is mental. Yeah. You won the National Board of Review for Best Supporting Actress, and were nominated for several other awards, including the Critics' Choice and the Indie Spirit. We love this performance. It is so good.
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
What was going on professionally for you when you received that script or audition?
Oh, I have a little story beforehand, if I may.
Yeah, please. We want it.
Yeah.
I was a waitress, seemed like for 100 years. And one night, I was in my early 30s, and I was walking to the restaurant where I work, wearing my black pants, white shirt, tie, the whole nonsense. And I saw something going on with the opening of a film, and I saw a name, Elizabeth Perkins, my classmate in acting school. I'm going to wait on tables. She's about to premiere in About Last Night. I just got to work. I barely got through it. I got home. My poor husband can tell you this is the truth. I went out to the porch, and I was just out loud saying, when is something going to happen? When is this going to happen? I don't want to keep waiting. And I heard a voice. I promise you this is true. And it said, you will be okay. You will be 56. I said, 56? I'm not waiting till I'm 56. Compliance, 56. And that's when the career changed, at 56. So, darling, listen to those voices.
Well, we are best friends, gay man, lesbian, and the one thing that bonds gay men and lesbian, not us, but gay men and lesbian, the one thing that they can agree on is an actress over the age of 56. So thank God. Thank God.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful experience shooting it. We did it in a chicken restaurant, so we had to do it after hours. And we didn't lead up to that, meaning you just got there the first night and you were there all night. And I was thinking, wait a minute, I'm saying a prayer, help me to care. You know, at some point you're so tired, you don't know what day it is. And rolling, got it. But it was a wonderful experience. Oh, Craig Zobel, director, writer, so good.
I have to say,
Really.
it is streaming. Please go and watch it. I think it was the thing that really zapped Damien and I out of our seats. It was wild ride.
Gosh.
So the story goes, Anne, and you'll correct us if this is wrong,
Sure.
that you spent a significant amount of your own money to print and send DVDs of Compliance to Academy members in the hopes of landing an Oscar nomination. This was 2 years after Melissa Leo funded her own FYC campaign and won the Oscar for her role in The Fighter, thanks to her posting those ads herself. Did Melissa's moxie inspire this? Is any of this true?
Well, I'm embarrassed to sort of admit that I did those things, you know.
No,
absolutely.
do not be
It's
embarrassed.
because
It's a good performance.
Yes, and also it's about whether they have enough money to put it into the Oscar campaign.
I know, that's true.
It's bullshit.
Yes.
Adam Kirsch, my wonderful publicist, agreed. He's the dear. Oh, thank you. He's the dearest. He's so good. He agreed to help me. But again, I did feel embarrassed, thinking, "My God, But yes, I had heard that she had done so, and that it was successful. So I was ready to. But I also, thankfully, and I can't say the same now. It's a funny thing. I had let go of it. I thought, if you don't get nominated, honey, it's okay. You still have the role. You still are in the film. All will be well. Now it's harder with award shows. I feel it more deeply, not being nominated, this, that, the other. I want to keep it simple. Stick to the work. That's the plan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't worry about the other things.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter, but it's frustrating because I feel like there's so many great performances that go without that push with
I
the
would
marketing
say.
campaign. And that's really all it is it's marketing. And I feel like that, again, please go see Compliance. It's incredible.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
honey. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so for years, less savvy audience members, I would say, have confused you and Margo Martindale. This is mostly because you both became known as ringers who could come in and nail a scene and were good in every single thing they did. But in the last 15 years, you guys both experienced this sort of unique boon to your theater where it was just everything started landing at the same time. But I just lost my cards.
I'll get it.
I just wanted to know whether or not, who was in the room with you back in the day when there were audition rooms? Was it Margo Martindale? Were there other women in that space? And what is your relationship with Margo now that you guys are both Emmy winners and sort of very in demand?
She's so lovely and so good. We finally met each other and we howled. We don't look the slightest bit
At all.
alike. She's a phenomenal actress. I was thrilled to be, thought, oh, that's. I've been called Margo, not lately. No, not Margo. But, what can you do? She was fantastic, and we had a good laugh, I would say. I'd love to work with her.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened, but we'll see.
Is there anybody that you think, a working actress today, that you would like to see get the Ann Dowd treatment at 56? Like, who are you excited by?
That's a good question. I don't know, sweetheart. I have to think about it.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll come.
No problem. We were just thinking
I
like Dale
gathered
Dickey
names.
just got nominated for an Emmy, and we were like so grateful. Like, oh my gosh, Dale Dickey is having a moment now with Widow's Bay, and it was just like, maybe
Yes.
Dale Dickey will be on.
Yes.
It will be then have an Ann Dowd moment.
Yeah, something happens when those things occur in your life. We must all, I hope, have similar experiences, not in the same field, but when suddenly something you were hoping for and you thought you were pretty good at comes to life, you think, thank you. I'll take that again and again.
Hear, hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
So-
to get too serious about it, but you know what I'm saying.
No, we're like high low here, and you can be serious. You've spoken very candidly in this, in particular, in a SAG-AFTRA interview that you did, where you talked about, I think it was you had just had your daughter, and you were living in Laurel Canyon, and you were hiking a lot, and you were like, I was the fittest I ever was, and I couldn't get a job. And as a person whose like weight has fluctuated a lot, and I know what it's like when I'm 5 or 10 pounds heavier or like lighter, and it's like I'm 5'5", honey. It's it shows. Like I know what a mindfuck that can be for you. Like how have you been able to stay grounded in the industry as your body has evolved and changed?
That's a good question. I remember after having my daughter, I got as thin as I could get. I weighed 118 pounds, which for me is quite thin. And I could not get arrested. I would go into the audition. I thought it was a good job. I'd look around. There's a blonde like me, a redhead like me, a blackhead. I was just like, okay, this is absurd. Kept trying. And finally, my husband and I thought, what are we going to do? Why are we in LA still? What is home for us? New York is home. Yes, New York is home. But anyway, I was trying to think, how are we going to get out of this house, which we loved, and how are we going to get to New York? And I read a book, forget the name, of course, because it would be helpful to you to know the name. But it said, clear out every single bit of clutter in your home. Every closet, every single speck of space in your home. Clear all the clutter, and you will have some answers to what to do next. I did that, I swear to you. I went through every single closet, everything I could, and no clutter left. Got a phone call. Joe Brancato, wonderful director from Penguin Theater in New York area, let us say, come and do a play, I have a role for you. The same time, an apartment came up for us that Larry's sister, my husband's sister, went and saw for us and said, yes, this is the one. So there we were, a place to live and a job to go to. Clean out the clutter, that's all I could say.
Oh my God.
Okay, all right.
It's inspiring.
It's inspiring me. I have a lot of clutter. Okay, so Anne, as you mentioned, you've worked with a lot of like big name directors, but we need to ask about 1993's Philadelphia, directed by Jonathan Demme. So the film is obviously historic. It's the first major Hollywood movie to address the AIDS crisis, and it starred two of the most famous movie stars of the 90s, Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington, of course. So, like, even though the film feels like, I think, a product of its time in the way that it talks about gay people, the film does give Tom Hanks's character a supportive partner and a loving family that includes Joanne Woodward as his mother and you as his supportive sister. What did it feel like to be a part of that project?
Oh, I have another little story for you
Please.
attached.
Give it to us, babe.
Getting an audition with someone like Jonathan Demme was a dream, the actors in it, Tom Hanks, you just wouldn't know where you thought, I would give anything. My agent got me an audition to go in, and John Demme was going to be present. And she got this for me, and she said, on pain of death, do this well. I'm not going to give you her name. She'll never forgive me. So here we were. Where was I saying? What part of it was I telling you?
In Philadelphia, just sort of getting
Oh, yes,
the job.
getting ready for the audition. Yeah. It was a day when, do you ever have those days when no matter what, you can't get the energy up and you're as flat as a board. Do you ever have that? Probably not. I've had so many of those days where I think, okay, honey, this isn't going to work out. I have an audition with Jonathan Demme, and you can't even pick your voice up. So here I was walking to the audition, talking to perfect strangers. How are you? Oh, good to see you. And people are like, what in the world? All I was trying to do was raise my energy level so I could do something in the room. Well, I finally get in the room and I realize, it's not happening, honey. You don't have it. And so I was quiet. I said, hi. That deadly silence. And the casting director got nervous and said, so Anne has just had a baby. She's telling Jonathan Demme and the producers. And I just said, yeah. And so the casting director was literally just saying, what is happening here? He said, well, do you have a little story about your baby you'd like to share? Yes. She stood up in the crib. That was a he stood up in the crib, by the way. That's literally what I said. Yes, I have a story. He stood up in the crib. And the silence was deafening. And so the casting director said, well, let's just get to the scene. Why don't we do that? So we did the scene. I thought it went well. I left. I was heartbroken. And I remember calling Marcia, my agent. I called on a pay phone. And I said, honey, I know you did everything for me to get me in the room, and I just didn't have it. I am so sorry, but I wanted to tell you. Now, I left this message. I didn't have to say it in person, left the message. I got home. It's Marcia on the phone. Call me, call me, call me. I called her. She said, you got it. I said, what? You got it. All you have to do is go in tomorrow and see if you look enough like Tom Hanks. And then if you do, you've got it. And so I got it. And I found out later what they were looking for. Someone who wouldn't come across as particularly interesting, or swear to God, she probably worked in some small job, she wanted to raise her family, so she didn't raise her voice or anything at all. And when Ann Dowd came in, that's what we thought. That's good.
And
for being the worst I ever was, I got the role.
I am absolutely howling.
I mean, and boy, may I tell you, that was some film. Jonathan Demme was extraordinary. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you wanted to weep through half of it. Seeing the babies, the movie, when he was a little boy, and all of it was beautifully done with kindness and real. Oh, it was a wonderful experience. I'm hugely grateful for it. My son was 6 months old. He's 34 now.
Wow.
Can you imagine? Thank you.
So, Anne, you also appear as a chain-smoking mom in the lesbian indie cult favorite All Over Me. This movie co-stars Leisha Hailey, famous for our quote-unquote favorite show, The L Word. Do you know, Ann Dowd, that you are beloved by the queer community?
No, I haven't the slightest idea. No. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't know a better group of people in the world, and so I thank you for that. Thank you. I'm very flattered for that. Thank you.
Have you always known that? What do you think? Could you pinpoint anything? I can tell you what is good about you for the queers, but I'm wondering. But I'm wondering if you have any sense of what that might be that you resonate for us.
Oh, no, darling, I don't. Tell me. I don't want to presume I do when I really don't.
I will say for me, there's something, and it's what we do this show for, is like Damien and I used to get drunk in New York on $4 vodka sodas and talk about, Tyne Daly's Rose's Turn, and just talk about big performances by women that are making interesting choices and can ground big choices. And I feel like it's a trait of many of the women that we love, and I feel like they're fearless, and I feel like you give fearless performances, but also are really funny. So I feel like you're a devastatingly good actress who also can do Charlotte Rae, meaning it's the high-low for me that we love for you, and I think that queer people really appreciate that.
Well, I can just say it is my pleasure and my honor, and I thank you.
You are a mother.
I thank you. Yeah. I'm a mother of 3. What can I say? I love being a mother. But anyway.
So, Anne, one of your more recent film credits is the absolutely, like, you stunned us as Joan, the mysterious witchy woman in 2018's Hereditary. This is like one of the absolute scariest films of the last 10 years. You have the task of absorbing a lot of Toni Collette's heavy emotional work, especially in that scene where she's like talking about she was sleepwalking and she painted herself and her son in paint thinner, and you're just like taking it all in. Do you have any special actor secrets that you can reveal to us here that you had up your sleeve, since you, like, the audience doesn't know if Joan is a malevolent or benevolent spirit?
Mm-hmm. Who is the director of that?
Ari Aster.
I'm sorry to forget that. That's the thing about names. He was so great. And I think was it his first film?
I think second.
I think
it was his second, yeah.
And if I had any questions, and I had a lot of them, he had an answer. And it was specific and right on the money. And so he took me by the hand there. That's all I have to say. I loved that experience. I don't like scary shows. I couldn't get enough of it. You know, and he just was so good and so kind, and knew what he was doing and what he wanted. And that's what he got.
It's exquisite. It really is. I think
she's great, Toni Collette.
So
good.
Good.
Yes.
Incredible. Yeah.
And that first scene you talked about, she had to shoot that, I think, on her first day. And I was in the scene with her. She was jaw-dropping. I just thought she just got off a plane.
Wow.
She was fantastic. Loved her.
It's such a great movie. So you're something at this point of a genre queen. I would say thanks to Hereditary, of course, but also you recently starred in The Exorcist, and of course Handmaid's Tale and Leftovers, which we're going to get to, don't worry, fall into that category with sort of dystopian genre fans. You also deliciously appear on the last season of Hacks as an actress in full alien costume on a smoke break with Jean Smart at a Comic-Con. Chris, can we see that photo for anyone that didn't see the episode?
Who is that? Who?
It's so good.
So we're not sure that everybody that was watching the show knew that that was the Ann Dowd. Was that an inside joke? Like, how did they approach you, and was that a fun day on set?
Well, it was a lovely day on set. They did approach. I got the offer to play this role. I read the thing, and I was too scared. And so I said, of course, I couldn't admit that even to myself. So I said to Marcia and Gary, my wonderful, what's the word?
Agent?
And manager. Thank you very much.
Sorry. Yeah.
Rough night. What can I say? I said to them, said, no, thanks. I'm gonna pass. And Marcia said, for the first time, I never heard this from her before, we want you to do this. And it's sort of like an order. Gentle, but I said, okay, doing it. That's fine. I mean, I literally never heard her say it. I said, okay, that's fine. And then I started praying, please help me to know what to do with this. Help. Because I knew she was just so odd and funny, and I just thought, how are you going to do it? But then you get to set, and if they aren't the loveliest group of people ever. And Jean Smart, we didn't do much chatting or anything. She just gets darn ready for her scene. She's prepared and ready to go, and that's what we did. And she did it, and she did it in one take. Yeah, I've never heard of such a thing in my life. Loved it. Everyone just, I keep saying that about a lot of things, but I've just been very, very fortunate, and that was one time.
How long were you in that alien makeup for?
The day.
I saw you actually posted that on Instagram, and you said my agent made me do it. I didn't know that it was so literal, but now I know.
And my publicist made me put that on Instagram. Because I don't know anything about Instagram. I try, honestly.
You've got a good team. They're looking out for you.
Yeah, they know what's right. They know what's right. Okay. So, Anne, we're going to get into The Leftovers, which for anybody that's not familiar with this HBO series, the premise of the show is that 2% of the population mysteriously disappears one day. You play Patty Levin, who's the leader of the Guilty Remnant. This is a sort of austere religious group that wants to provoke the rest of the world into remembering the horror of this event that took place. So you spend a lot of time, especially in that first season, completely mute and smoking. Essentially, you are like you're giving a silent star performance in that first scene. How difficult for you was it to process having to telegraph so much information with so little dialogue? Obviously, we get there with you, but there's a lot of that first season where we don't hear you speak.
Well, this is another one, I'm giving you backstories, where I read it and I thought, great, she doesn't talk. Boy, that's going to be powerful. So I said to Marcia and Gary, what is the big deal? I didn't know Damon Lindelof, may I just say. And I said, what? I mean, and there was silence. And going through their head is, I didn't know she was so dumb. Because they said is, well, it's shooting in New York City. I was like, oh, where I live. Okay. So I go in for the audition. And I did do a couple of things with the writing. And there was a little bit of talking. I wasn't in there 5 minutes when I thought, I want this role. This is a phenomenal role, and I want it. It came over me in the middle of the audition. I think I snapped to, kind of. And that's what happened in the shooting of that series. The more I did it, the more I loved it. Damon Lindelof is a brilliant individual. He just is. And then I find out I'm going to die at the end of the first season. And I was like, no, I can't die because I love it. And I need to come back. And somehow I did come back. I was so grateful. Imagine. Yeah. I was dead. So I don't know. It was just, again, a marvelous, incredible experience. Justin Theroux is a very dear, dear friend.
You all are so good together, the two of you.
He's
so
wonderful.
Can we talk about some of those death scenes? So you do get to film a few of them over the course of 3 seasons with Justin Theroux. So you have some intense scenes. You slap him a lot. He kills you multiple times. You get shot. You drown. You famously stab yourself in the neck with a giant shard of glass. What was the most fun death sequence that you got to shoot on the course of The Leftovers?
Darling, it's so interesting that you think it was fun.
I always thought it might be fun to have like what do they call a squib shoot? I don't know. Tell us.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what was most amazing about it was the opposite of fun. No, because it was just why I never watched the show. And the reason is because I had so many moments where I was so grateful at the end of a day for the way the work went. You know when you have those days, you give it everything you have, and you get home and you say, you know what? That was pretty good. I'm going to have a martini, and I'm going to put my feet up, and I'm going to say thank you, because that's how it was. Just a kind of an extraordinary drowning. I mean, all I know doesn't that sound hilarious? They were beautiful, powerful moments for which I'm, as I said, very grateful. And loved it.
Yeah, I'm making light of it, but it is obviously a very metaphysical, deep, beautiful show. But you really have a lot of heavy lifting to do.
It's so true. Yes, I hear you.
Okay, so I ask this question of everyone in my life, and so don't be offended. But based on your performances in The Leftovers and The Handmaid's Tale, if you were going to be in a cult, you had no choice. Would you be a cult leader or a cult follower?
Cult leader. Oh yeah.
No hesitation. Tell us why.
Oh, I want to be in charge, like Lydia.
Okay.
Oh, don't give me orders, anyone, please. I can't. Yeah.
The Dowd heads are here. They're ready to follow you.
Just the very thought, yeah. No thanks.
Okay, so let's talk about The Handmaid's Tale and its sequel series, The Testaments.
Okay.
So, facing plummeting birth rates, this extremist society forces fertile women to carry the children of the ruling class. You, of course, play Aunt Lydia, the high-ranking authority figure who, armed with a cattle prod, violently breaks the women down into submission. So between the hair, the voice, the uniform, and the cattle prod, Lydia has become like an iconic pop culture figure. As an actor, do you need the prop and the shoes and the garb to find Lydia, or do you work from the inside out?
Well, I would hope to say, and I would say that I work from the inside out, but there's something about the way Lydia is dressed and the hair is done and the pretend makeup is put on. It adds, just slowly but surely, once you put the costume on, the weight of it, you know you're headed for a day. And get yourself ready, girl, because we're going in. I mean, that's and when you have those long days and it's the crack of dawn, just say, doesn't matter. You've got it, and you're gonna show it right now today, and you're gonna do it. She was very helpful, Lydia, because she had no time for nonsense.
Right.
And she has a very good work ethic. Do you know what I mean? You're not special, Anne, she would tell me. Just get out there and do your job. You're not special. Yes, you do have to know your words. What are you talking about? What do you think this is? Yeah, she was in my ear quite a bit. I had a few things to tell her, too. Just chill, doll, just chill.
There's this beautiful scene in The Handmaid's Tale, I believe it's season 3, where we finally get into Lydia's backstory. And she sings Islands in the Stream with a potential suitor at karaoke. It's really beautiful. So this episode is so gorgeously done, and your performance is devastating. We haven't really seen you play such an erotic scene before. Can you walk us through receiving that script and how you approached that sensual scene that ends up in heartbreak? It's a really different side of you that we haven't seen much of on screen.
Yes, I was very scared of it, to be honest with you. I was embarrassed, thinking, I won't know how to do this. I don't know how to kiss a man the way it should happen. I just lost confidence. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then when I got there, everything sort of fell into place. And I just thought, you got nothing to lose, hon. And I loved the actor doing it with me, playing it with me, and he was very receiving, non-judgmental. Do you know what I mean? He would just be present with it. And once I did it a few times, I got the confidence, and I thought, then I thought to myself, she's not confident. Where do you think you got that? She doesn't know what she's doing either. So yeah, go in there together. That's the way to get this done. You both are scared. Mm-hmm. So it really was a very meaningful experience.
It really felt like seeing Lydia like drop into her erotic self. It felt very personal. It felt like a private moment. And
yes.
I was quite like, I'm not trying to be funny, but it might sound funny, but like you were open mouth kissing him. And I thought like, you're really going for it. Like it was very sensual, and I was really happy to see it. And I felt like it obviously humanizes Lydia in a myriad of ways. So it was wonderful.
And I assume, though again, I didn't see it, but I assume it was a bit clumsy. Because it felt clumsy,
not really.
but in a good way.
Not really.
And it broke my heart at the end of that scene.
It's devastating.
It changes her life.
Yeah.
The fact that he says, "Can you hold off a little bit? I need a little more time."
Yeah.
He might as well have said, "You are a disgusting slut." Do you know what I mean? That's how she took it, because of probably the way she was raised. Probably not with father, strict, religious, cruel, calling her fatty, this, that. Those are the things in my imagination that I thought, she came from, that kind of an upbringing. Anyway.
No, it is such a beautiful scene. And
Thank
I really
you.
think the show did it such justice, because we get that lead up where we're like, are we going to get Lydia's backstory? And when they deliver it, it is just heartbreak.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On that same note, in a sillier tone, in Lydia's backstory, she befriends a struggling single mom who has a kid. This woman's name is Noelle. And I'm going to tell you, Anne, there's a whole community of people on Reddit that are convinced that Aunt Lydia is a repressed lesbian and that perhaps she was in love with Noelle, and that has to do with when she was rejected by the man, she was projecting those feelings for Noelle onto the man. What say you? Is there any queerness in Aunt Lydia? We're asking you to engage with online Redditors.
I can imagine it, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Why not? I'm, sure.
Well, the religious repression.
She puts makeup on you, right? There's that scene, and you kind of like have a moment where you look at her, and folks on Reddit said,
"Yeah,
Aunt Lydia's
that's
a lesbian."
when it happens. Yeah, I love it.
She recognized her attraction and repressed it.
Yeah. There you go.
Anne's like, yes, sure, whatever you want.
Whatever they're
we
saying.
will do nothing if not find a moment of queerness in any text,
No, darling, I really mean that. I can imagine that
Yeah.
for Lydia.
Yeah.
It's queer theory, babe. We got to do it.
All right, I'm learning the language. Thank you.
Okay, so Anne, Margaret Atwood only wrote The Handmaid's follow-up novel, The Testaments, in 2019. And you, of course, have reprised your role as Aunt Lydia on that TV adaptation. What kind of conversation... Yeah, we can give it up for The Testaments. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, wonderful. What kind of conversations with Margaret Atwood, if any, did you have about Aunt Lydia? And have you found any discrepancy between like Handmaid's Tale universe and the Testaments universe?
Well, some of it had to change because for things adding up time-wise. Like I can't even think of names now. Not the daughter. The second one was not her daughter, but she would have been in The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
Okay.
Because the years didn't add up correctly.
I
So
see.
they made shifts, and the backstory that we see in the Testaments is different from the backstory, from what we know of Lydia and what we know of her past. She was a judge for I forget that for what she was a judge, but it's just a very different background. Mm-hmm. So I think the thing is what we told ourselves is just let the past go and just start with what you have here in front of you. Mm-hmm. It's beautifully written, and so we just had to make changes in our mind about what we thought was true and what isn't true, and so on.
Yeah. Has there been any shifts since you were always working around a large group of women? But in the Testaments, some of them are significantly younger. What is the set like comparatively working on? They were younger to middle-aged women in *Handmaid's Tale*.
They are incredibly lovely, every single one of them. They're prepared. They're respectful. They love what they're doing. They know how to listen. They know when to stop playing around and pay attention. When I'm standing on the sidelines watching them, they're like teenagers, giggling, laughing. This is, of course, when we're not shooting. They're having such a fine time. They're so supportive of one another, so happy to be together. And then when it's time it just makes me laugh to look at them. They're just delighted with life and so appreciative of what they have. Great group.
And you're shooting season 2 soon, yes?
Yes, at the end of the summer.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. We're very happy to be doing it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, folks, we have reached the part of the show we like to call the rapid fire. It's rapid for us, and you can take whatever time you need.
You can take your time, don't worry.
Yeah.
It's just like we're no longer doing the segue.
They're lying.
No.
Okay. Ann Dowd, you grew up in Holyoke, Massachusetts, and you are joining us tonight in beautiful Provincetown, Mass. What is the most masshole thing about Ann Dowd? Have you heard the term masshole?
No, dear.
It's a term of endearment, and I just want to know, how does Massachusetts work its way into Ann Dowd?
Okay, there's a question. Oh my God, these terrify me. How?
Where does Massachusetts show up for you, either in your work or in your personal
Holyoke,
life?
because it was a small town. I'm one of 7 children. So again, you're not special, dear. Do your work and then get on with it.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I thank my parents for that. Very loving, but they didn't kid around about that sort of thing. Just, no bratty behavior.
I have a question for some fans in the audience. Have you been following anything related to the Karen Reed business?
What's that?
Okay, great. Never mind. We'll talk about it at the bar. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so Anne, of course you do some iconic smoker acting on The Leftovers.
Oh, yeah.
But you also smoke in your episode of Hacks, you smoke in the aforementioned All Over Me, and you are a smoker in an incredible episode of Touched by an Angel, where Valerie Bertinelli is an angel who visits you to tell you that your teen daughter who started smoking because she watched you might have throat cancer. So the question is, what do you think it is about Ann Dowd that lets casting directors know that you might be able to do like a French inhale?
That's such a good question, darling.
Thank you.
I don't know. I mean, really.
Did you smoke ever?
Oh, I smoked, yes, as a teenager, I smoked. Loved it.
Did you?
Bring it back.
Sometimes
I got a cough, once. I was a smoker, and I had this cough that wouldn't go away, so I went to my doctor, and I coughed a little bit. He said, "Do you smoke?" I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "Could you leave my office, and when you get a brain, come back."
Oh, my God.
Yep. It was very helpful. I quit.
Aunt Lydia.
Sometimes
over
I
here.
want just one. Like, I'm walking down New York, and I'll say, like, if I just go like this and someone throws one from their window, it'd just be like, and then go, Did you smoke cloves? What are you smoking when you're on these sets?
The kind that healthy people supposedly smoke. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I don't know what that could be.
Can I ask a follow-up? I just want to
Rapid fire, but here we go again.
Here we go. You're piquing my interest. Do you think about how a character smokes, and do you choose the way that character holds the cigarette?
Yeah. Well, you let it present itself to you over time. You know what I mean? And it will. You just stick with what you're hearing, with what you're doing, and the habit starts to take form on its own, and you just see where it goes.
I love it.
I don't recommend with the smoking part.
Can you do a smoke ring? Can you blow a smoke ring?
No, I don't know how to do that.
All
I
right.
always wanted to. That was a reason to smoke,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, I never got that.
Okay, Anne, you play the infamous veterinarian in Marley and Me, who puts Marley the dog down when he gets GDV, commonly known as bloat, which is a life-threatening condition in dogs where the stomach fills with gas and can twist, cutting off blood flow. And there is a YouTube veterinarian named Dan the Vet who claims that your character in Marley and Me is the reason that Marley dies because you should have done a gastropexy or stomach tacking procedure to prevent the GDV in the first place. Does this keep you up at night? And do you want to respond to Dan the Vet on the record?
Well, it will keep me up now, thank you very much. I didn't know of such a thing. And no, I won't be having any conversation with him. Not a word.
I just want you to know people are really committed to your performances and breaking them down in online communities.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
I'm sorry.
It's a
I'm
mental
sorry.
illness,
Yeah, I'm
Anne,
sure
and you're here
sorry.
encouraging us. Okay, so you appear in the 2019 film Big Driver opposite Maria Bello, Olympia Dukakis, and Joan Jett. You know I love it. You get to do a number of stunts, including throwing a terracotta planter at Maria Bello's head, tumbling to the floor to fight for a gun, then getting stabbed by your own kitchen knife, and slowly dying before Maria Bello finally puts you out of your misery with a gunshot. You wrote this.
Sorry.
Did you do all of your stunts, Anne? And was that a fun day, or was it like a total nightmare and you were covered in
That
fake
was
blood?
Margo Martindale. What's wrong with you?
No,
It wasn't me. I don't remember.
You throwing that terracotta planter at Maria
Yeah,
Bello.
it feels
so
like a
good.
blast.
It was amazing. You
Yeah.
did a great job. You threw a planter at her head amazingly.
Oh, thank you. I got to do some stunts in Handmaid's Tale,
Yeah.
which I enjoyed, falling down the stairs, that kind of thing. Yeah.
It seems terrifying. Is it like, how do
Yeah.
they, can you give a little bit about like, how do they prep you for that? Do they
Oh,
pad
they
you?
prep you to death. You're
Okay.
just like, look, I don't care if I fall down. Just let me go and do it. No, they're wonderful. They're hugely cautious.
Yeah.
And they make sure you know exactly what you're doing. And if it's too dangerous, you just don't do it.
Right.
They won't have it. They have their own people who are hired to do such things. You know.
So, Anne, we mentioned some of these names earlier, but you've worked with a bevy of, let's say, auteurs like Ari Aster in Hereditary, Jonathan Demme, Philadelphia, and the Manchurian Candidate remake, Steven Soderbergh, Clint Eastwood, Mary Herron, who we love, George Miller, Bryan Singer, Leslie Headland. Which of these directors would you say most spoke your language and like understood your talents best and how to bring them out?
Or maybe someone we didn't mention.
Yeah.
I just have to think about that for a little bit. For some reason, I went to Jonathan Demme because he knew I was so scared. It was my first film, and well, maybe it was the second. I'm not sure.
I think Green Card was the
Green
first.
Card was the first one.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I was very scared of the people I was working with, Tom Hanks and everyone, and he caught that early, and so his notes were specific and kind. Do you know what I mean? He just had a nice way about him. And one time, it's in the film still, where something happens with Tom Hanks and he falls down on the stage and his family is sitting in the audience. And we were supposed to just sit there, and I thought, I'm not sitting here. No sister's going to sit here when her brother falls down in front of the whole world. So I got up and I ran, and I just shoved people out of the way, and Demme kept it. He said, "This works, and you can have it." And I mean, because it came from a good place. I wasn't looking for attention. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just wanted to get the job done correctly. And I just think of him. I think of so many of them as lovely. And
Yeah.
he was certainly one of them, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Ann Dowd.
Yes, darling. What is it now?
Last question, and it's very important. So, you are incredible at delivering a single teardrop down your right cheek. Chris, can we show that first image? Okay, and then the next one. And then the next one. And then the next one.
Darling, what are you
you do this in The Leftovers, you do it in Compliance, you do it in Mass, which is a beautiful film that everyone must stream. You do it on The Handmaid's Tale. You're very good at delivering a single teardrop that rolls down your cheek. Now, we interviewed Celia Weston many moons ago, and we asked her how many takes it took Matt Damon to do the single tear in Talented Mr. Ripley, and she wouldn't give us the goods. Bryce Dallas Howard has said that you have to be extremely hydrated in order to do multiple crying takes. Anna Ortiz told us that sometimes she puts like a menthol little stick on her sides when she goes in for an audition, and that way when she flips the pages, that she gets a little bit of like, in her eyeballs. How do you prepare on set on the day when you know your character is required to cry?
My last question, so he comes up with this. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'll tell you the truth is you do your homework, and you do it at home. And you create the family you have, you create the life you live as a character, what you're going to lose if this happens, what is really going on. So it's that kind of a thing. And when you go in to work on that day, it's a quiet day for you, meaning it's not chatty time. I don't mean you have to call me by my character's name and, whisper, but I just it's private. And I just hope, say my prayers as we all do in our way. Please let me have what I need to do this scene well, and let me have it as many times as I need it. And generally, I know that sounds like ridiculous, but that's, I would say, the way I've done it in the past. Thank you.
Hear, hear.
It's incredible. Ann Dowd, thank you so much for being here on You Might Know Her from in Provincetown with the Art House.
I feel like we just started.
I know.
I really
I know.
do. Oh my goodness.
This has been a
Thank you
total
all
pleasure.
so much. You are so kind and wonderful. Thank you.
I could have Ann Dowd call me honey, darling, until the cows come home. I felt like I haven't had anybody refer to me as either of those terms of endearment in some time, and I really found it so charming. She was just beyond lovely and so smart and kind and just so generous to us and to everyone at the art house. Like, people were really fucking hyped for Ann Dowd. It was very cool to see.
Yes, I loved it, and I loved her calling us a darling. It was so funny and charming to me.
Also, her timing is so good. That Margo Martindale bit landed so well. I said, ooh, Ann Dowd, got it. She's got it.
Oh my God. Also, that terracotta pot, the pottery, piece of pottery that she throws at Maria Bello, I made Anne Rodeman when we were prepping the day of the show. Like, we were like finishing everything. And I was like, I just need you to come downstairs and watch this scene. And I made her watch Ann Dowd throw the terracotta pottery at Maria Bello. And man, that film was beautiful. It was a really good film.
I'm so glad that you really did your homework for us. We each find gems for each other when we have to split up our homework, but it really is nice when you say, I've been saving this for like the end of the workday. So it's like you've been hoarding the clip, and it's going to make me very titillated in an actressy way. And
you bitch. That's what Ann Dowd says to Maria. Like, you bitch. And you said, shh. Do you remember what you said when she did it?
No, what did I say?
You said Ann Dowd would be a really good rhubarb lady.
Oh my God.
Because if you remember, folks, the rhubarb lady was formative for me and Ann. Was it Ann Rodeman? I mean, I have to feel like to qualify, not Ann Dowd. Was the rhubarb lady like when we were becoming friends, or was she already like a viral thing that we just thought was funny?
I think she may have been viral while we were at like the peak of our courtship. And it just was like something that we watched over and over because she's such a specific type of woman, hoarding rhubarb like from a neighbor's yard and screaming at her. Also, the quality of the video is so low res. But she's like, she just keeps calling this woman a bitch over. It's not your rhubarb, bitch. We're gonna link out, as we always do when we're putting together our MSN and Carta Encyclopedia Britannica.
It's from 2013. So yes, we were we were already knew each other. 2013 is when I think when that happened, according to the internet. Anyway, if you heard Ann Dowd in the Maria Bello Stephen King movie say, "You bitch," and then you go and listen to the Rhubarb Lady, you will say, "Oh my gosh, Ann Dowd could be in a Rhubarb Lady biopic."
And this is because of the vocal work that Ann Dowd is capable of, which is really how we opened it. We really, I think, hit her with the hot note with that Charlotte Rae live Facts of Life recording, but I didn't think she saw that one coming. So yeah, I do think there's something she can do with her voice that could reach into Rhubarb Lady territory. So we're going to do a side-by-side. I'll put the timestamps in the show notes. Don't worry. These are both formative clips. Also, I'm not sure, Damien, that clip exists online, and it might be something that we need to add to the TikTok.
The Rhubarb Lady? You think it's taken down?
No, Damien.
Oh.
Ann Dowd throwing a terracotta planter at Maria Bello's head.
Yes, we maybe have to put that on the internet for all to see, especially since Ann Dowd tried to, gotcha me. I fell for it. I was like, what? No, I watched Big Driver this morning, babe. I watched Big Driver by Steven Spielberg this morning and brought Ann Rodeman down the stairs of the home we were staying in to watch Big Driver starring Joe Jett, Olympia Dukakis, may she rest, or return if possible, Maria Bello, and you, babe, Ann Dowd throwing a terracotta potter. I fell for it. I was like, what? No. Oh, I heard it, and I was like, wow, you sound dumb. Sometimes I fall for things.
This is what I love. Also, you did say that Steven Spielberg directed that movie. I think it's a Stephen King book, but I like the idea that
No, I said Stephen King. I said Spielberg? When? In the show or right now?
You said both. You said, no, just right now. Just right now. I'm just saying, I like the idea that Ann Dowd would have been directed by Steven Spielberg in that scene. But here's another thing. I'm not going to go off on this right now. We'll save it for another day. But Stephen King has too much work. He writes too much. That's all I'm going to say. It's a lukewarm take. It's a lukewarm take. It's a lukewarm opinion.
Yeah, I like your opinion, and I also like that he writes a lot. I think it's admirable, but it doesn't mean it's good, you know? It's prolific. It's not quality necessarily.
Who did you say recently that you were like, they work a lot, they are not good? Who was that? You were like, they are very prolific. Whatever it is, I'm not going to reveal it on the record in case it's somebody that, we don't want to reveal on the record.
I'd love to know who I was talking about now. It's so funny.
I got to think about it. Well,
I mean, that is the hope, right? That if you kick around in this business long enough, that hopefully you make it like Ann Dowd and you're really good and it's so amazing. But, sometimes people aren't really good. They're just fine, or they're not good, but they know how to do like one thing or whatever. So God bless that person I was talking about I wonder who it was now though. Fascinating.
I know.
I assume a man.
It was definitely a man, no question. Again, I just want to shout out Ann Dowd for really playing ball with us, spending the night in Provincetown. And Damien and I did a more thorough thanks and postmortem on the Patreon, which, if you want to support us, that's the best way you can support us on the show, is to go over and subscribe at any tier. And there is always going to be ad-free listening over there, plus lots of behind-the-scenes content, interviews with non-actresses, book clubbing stuff. We did Barbara Streisand's book. We did Liza's book. We have lots of projects cooking in the pipeline. We interviewed Craig Chester. We interviewed Gavin and Louie from Mixed Reviews about Joel Schumacher. Like, we are diving deep, and that's where the extra content resides. But I wanted to make sure that we said proper thanks to the town of Provincetown, which really just blew us away. I know we've said it ad infinitum, but it felt like we were able to find community and kinship as newcomers to Provincetown in the performing space. Everyone was so warm and so welcoming. And so we just wanted to name a few of those people. In addition, of course, to the art house, as Damien said, Misconception and Suddenly Seymour, Chris Racine, who ran the board over there, and the drag queen, Beatrix Eglantine Arthurson, and Anthony, we love you. Jen and Ryan, who did our photos and videos. Damien, who else we got that we need to thank over here?
Well, we want to thank, of course, Daniel Sears, who helped us get all our ducks in a row for the live recording. We want to thank Water Edge Cinema for our director's chair, Lawrence and Chad, who did Ann Dowd's hair and makeup magic. We also just want to thank, as Ann said, the town of P-Town and all of the local businesses and establishments that, whether they directly helped us, everyone was just really kind. The Provincetown Library, the Provincetown Methodist Church Thrift Store, the Ferry, Mary Jo at Pride Ride, and the Provincetown Theater. Also, I think we have some personal thank yous to shout out our families.
Yeah, both of our families, a Glick, a Chaden. We already thanked Rich the Bear, who is a pure delight. Thank you, Rich. And really, most importantly, we want to thank Ann Dowd for, like we said, playing ball with us. But folks, we love doing this. I hope you know how much we love doing this and how much fun it's been to like take our show on the road and do a live version of this interview podcast. So if you're interested in having us come to your town, like we keep saying, babe, find a way to bring us in, talk to your university, talk to your local bars, see who can bring folks in. We would love to try to find an actress that has roots near you that we would interview in person live.
And we're going to be in Columbia, Missouri for Mid-Missouri Pride.
That's my hometown, babes. Damien is coming to my hometown and we are going to take Pride by storm. Folks, we love you. Adam Brown, thank you so much for all of the editing. You're going to find those clips, fine listeners, of the Rhubarb Lady and Ann Dowd throwing a terracotta plant at Maria Bella's head in the show notes. That's where I archive each and everything we discuss on this show. And we want to thank Gang for all the music that you hear. Every piece of music that you hear on You Might Know Her From is courtesy of Gang. We love you, Gang. Thanks for all you do. You can go stream their music wherever you listen to your bops.
Do you think that lady from Holyoke that we met when we were in the streets giving out flyers, do you think that she ended up coming to the show?
Jen from Holyoke. I think Jen from Holyoke may have shown up. She did seem genuinely excited, and there was somebody in the audience that gave a little hoot when I said, did we accost you on the street? So, Jen, I hope you were there. Miriam, we just talked to so many people in the pouring rain in full-blown Handmaid's gear, Damien. I mean, I think that is one of the takeaways of this trip.
It was so wild. It was one of the highlights of the trip, but also like one of the most insane things. It was like an adrenaline pumping. Like, I don't even remember it. It feels like a blur.
It's like trying to talk to people who are running off of the street in the pouring rain without umbrellas while trying to hand them a postcard and tell them to come to your show. It was like, it really was like an exercise in humility, but also I really just cut loose at a certain point, and it was like whatever inhibitions I had were completely gone. The pouring rain plus the bonnet, the cape. I wasn't wearing anything underneath it. It really was. It was invigorating, and I feel like it ushered us into the Provincetown culture because everybody's barking. So it felt like a big deal that we were barking with Tina Burner and Misconception and Suddenly Seymour. Like, it was very fun.
You know what Natasha Bedingfield says?
Feel the rain on your skin. Yeah,
she release your inhibitions, release your inhibitions. No one else, so.
What is the gossip about Natasha Bedingfield? I can't remember. I always confuse her with KT Tunstall.
They're not the same.
I know they're not, but they are the same white woman in my head, but I think one of them is British. But what is the deal with Natasha Bedingfield?
They both might be British, actually.
What?
Natasha Bedingfield has a brother, Daniel, who is also a pop star.
Gay?
I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. Do you remember that song?
Not at all.